Hello, and welcome to Geek Philosophy. Co-host Clay here, Don, and today is episode 4 of our podcast. And thank you all for that's been joining us on a weekly basis. We definitely appreciate your viewership and you listening to us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and watching us on YouTube. Thank you for the support. Also, don't forget our social medias, links down below. But let's get into it. There's a lot of news to cover. This is a big week for a lot of comic book fans and the geek culture altogether. And well, before we get in that, last week we talked about Pokemon Go. And I asked Clay, what can Pokemon do to get you back into Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
You remember your answer?
Not off the top of my head.
It was they can't do nothing. Then literally that day...
They started doing friend stuff so I could friend people. You know, get free stuff from people who were playing.
Facebook posts. Yeah, here's my trainer code. Let's get it back.
Yep. Well, you know.
They got you.
In my defense, it's a heck of a lot more fun when you can actually play with other people. But no, my main gripe still is I got to wait and see how they incorporate it into a mainline game. I don't want any of that. Pokemon Go is okay. Especially being here in Richmond, if you're in the city, there's a lot more stuff to do. I don't think it would be half as much fun if you lived in the county or some rural area. Yeah. And I had the benefit of the week that Pokemon Go launched. I was in New York with my brother-in-law and my wife and their family. So I got to spend week 1 of Pokemon Go in Central Park. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. A lot of people looking like they're getting ready to trip.
That Central Park memory probably got you back. Like, yeah. Can I imagine just doing Central Park again and then you doing it with friends?
Right.
So, yeah, they got him. So, Pokemon Game Freak, you got him.
Me back in. Yeah.
But let's get back. I mean, last week we also talked about Disney and the Fox buyout.
Yeah.
We got a little bit more information. The Department of Justice has decided, hey, you're good to go on this deal, which looks like both parties are. There was only one stipulation, and that was they had to divest like 22 Fox regional,
just
sports
local,
regionals.
Yeah, local channels. I don't think it's going to hurt them at all. But
no.
And the reason why they had to do this was because Disney already owns ESPN, so you can't have both. It's good for the consumer because you're.
And
not
honestly, if you're looking at sports and like watching sports and recapping, those are the two biggest ones.
Right.
ESPN, Fox, then you can get into all the other ones. But that would have gave them majority share, which would have gave them a monopoly.
Right.
So
it's a good thing for all of us. Disney deals, it looks like it's a done deal at this point. And I know Kevin Feige said in the past that he was basically just waiting for the text or email to come through saying that you can start incorporating these characters in.
So it's weird. I definitely wanted to bring that up too. So he said that he's been waiting for the text. He's got the text now, but he still says he doesn't want to do anything in this next phase.
Right.
But he also hinted maybe 10 years in the future. Is Disney going to allow him to wait 10 years to do anything with that with those properties?
No, I think if they're talking about this deal could be done by the end of this year, or at least within the next year, then
the signing is most likely going to happen in July.
Yeah.
I think July 10th is the final deadline. Comcast says they want to throw something else out there. Yeah. I don't think it's going to sway them, especially when Disney says, I'll take some of your debt. I'm not only going to pay you, I'm going to pay some of your bills too.
Right. So, and like we talked about in a previous video too, Comcast can't do but so much because they're closing in on a debt-to-income ratio that's dangerous for the company. So I don't think, even if they throw something else out there, I don't see Fox taking anything seriously at this point. They're just ready to have this deal done and go through. And from the higher-ups at Fox, they're looking at long-term investment because they're getting stock purchases and everything and gifts with that.
It's half cash, half stock.
Right.
And the stock option is considerably even more because automatic, once this deal goes through and everything, the stock price of Disney is going to go up even more.
And from a long-term investment, those people that own Fox, all the higher-ups, they're going to want this through Disney. So we have that going through. I think I think after we could see at least hints to the X-Men universe popping up, maybe in a stinger at the end of a movie, maybe the end of Captain Marvel, something that's capping off the end of this phase of Marvel movies. Maybe not Captain Marvel, that's coming up rather soon. Maybe at the end of Infinity War next year.
I'm about to say Avengers 4, because there's hints of time travel, there's hints of a lot of things. Like, there's nothing set in stone yet.
Right.
So with that being said, there is a way to incorporate Fantastic Four, or not even Fantastic Four, but X-Men. X-Men has their movie coming out. There's ways to start incorporating things,
right?
Or giving little hints. I know Deadpool is definitely going to take advantage of it. There has to be a third Deadpool because this one did dramatically well.
They would be stupid not to.
And I can literally just see Deadpool just jumping on screen saying, "I'm a Disney princess now."
Right. Oh, the jokes that are going to be coming.
And that's what we expect from him. So.
Right.
Yeah, let's see. I doubt anything's going to be said at the Comi-Cons in the next couple months, just because it's still fresh. But I don't think Kevin Feige's going to wait 10 years.
No, I'm sure he's not going to wait 10 years, and I would be surprised if they even announce anything before you see it. And I think the perfect way to announce it would just have some sort of hint of a stinger at the end of Avengers 4, or whichever movie is immediately after that. They haven't announced anything after that, have they? I can't remember if they've actually officially announced anything.
Well, there's a whole bunch of things on the docket.
They have said that, for instance, Doctor Strange 2 has been confirmed, but they haven't
that one's Doctor Strange Illuminati.
Right, I don't know if they've tagged a name to it or not.
Well, there was a whole bunch of... Before Avengers, the last Avengers movie, they tagged a lot of names.
Mm-hmm.
But, and we'll talk about this next, but looks like some of those names might have been false.
Right.
And some of them might have been true. We don't know which ones. Because I think Black Panther was supposed to be a Secret Empire. There was a whole bunch of names and titles. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is supposed to be set. And I think James Gunn just tweeted that he's like finishing the script.
Just turned in the first copy of the script. So, there'll be rewrites and everything, but at least we know it's up and coming.
It's in the works. So the question is, who's going to be on the team?
Right.
Are we actually going to get a little bit of Adam Warlock too? Because they've been hinting at that for a good while.
Yeah.
The first Guardian of the Galaxy, there was a cocoon. The end of Guardian of the Galaxy 2, we saw Alicia with her pod and trying to look like she was creating Adam Warlock. So more to come with that one as James Gunn, because James Gunn is the type to put out feelers out there. He doesn't stay quiet. He's pretty active on Twitter. So
and he had even said that it was a mistake of him to put it in the cocoon at the end of the first at the end of Volume 1 because it played so well into how they did things with Volume 2.
Yeah.
So a lot of things to look forward to coming up in that.
So, and that leads us to the next one. We talked about some of the titles that were introduced in that first. I think it was Disney D23 Expo is when they announced a lot of those titles. Tom Holland, as famous as he is with Twitter and all that,
not being able to keep his mouth shut or stop his thumbs.
He leaked out a title.
Yep.
And Kevin Feige went ahead and confirmed it. We have the title for the next Spider-Man movie. It's Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah.
So you're going to see a lot of fan art coming up about this. And I saw one beautifully done fan art. And I don't know who the artist's name is. I wish I did so I can give them their proper credit. But it's literally showing Spider-Man on Titan. And looks like an ooze is coming up onto his legs, and it's like, can we have that story? Can we do it that way instead of what's coming out in the near future? I'm not excited for that. If you've been a fan of my channel or you've been watching this, I'm not really a fan of this whole Venom storyline.
I'm willing to wait and see. I can tell you if Venom comes out and it has zero connection with Sony's Spider-Man, new Spider-Man franchise or with the MCU, then I have no interest in it.
And that's the problem. We're getting rumors about Tom Holland being on set, but we're also getting rumors and people saying, "Oh, this is not part of the MCU."
Yeah.
And if you go ahead and say it's not part of the MCU, I have a problem with that.
Right.
such a character needs to be a part of it. You can't have Spider-Man without... You can't have Venom without Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You can have Spider-Man without Venom, but you cannot have Venom without Spider-Man.
I agree. So. We'll have to wait and see, but that's coming out later this year as well.
Yep. And there will be, I think, a new trailer is launching at San Diego Comic-Con.
That would make sense,
So, that makes sense because the recent trailer, I think they released one last week where we showed like another glimpse of a different Venom or symbiote creature. So, more to come. I think we're going to get more on that one. And then as we talk about trailers, Kevin Feige, again, third time in a row, buddy. We're going to be talking about you 3 times in a row. He's went out and said the Captain Marvel trailer is still a couple months away.
Still a few months out. That doesn't surprise me too much.
It doesn't surprise me, but I'm looking at the timeline. Isn't that in the beginning of next 2019? I want to say it's February.
Yeah, February or March, something like that. I don't know. It depends on how they do it. I feel like if they gave us a teaser right now, then they would need to follow up with a first proper trailer, by the end of the summer or something. I have to balance this with my want to see what it looks like versus my want for a good trailer that's not going to be drawn out or spoil anything.
I'm always, just because I have a business hat on, like I always like to see the business side. I do want... San Diego Comic-Con is a big Comic-Con where you normally see the groundbreaking stuff. Could they be trying to go for a trend and make it for the second biggest, which New York Comic-Con is nothing to sleep at. Maybe they're waiting for New York Comic-Con. And that's a little bit closer to their release date.
Well, they could be going back to the way they used to do things where people who actually attend the Comic-Con get to see it. And then the rest of us don't get to see it for months following.
It could be.
That's not exactly the popular way of doing things now, and most of the time...
But it's getting harder and harder to do that. Because even last year, when they started showing trailers for Comic-Con, for Avengers Infinity War.
Infinity War had leaked. Before that, Suicide Squad famously leaked, and then they just ended up giving it up and putting the trailer online within the next week.
Marvel was a little bit more stingy. They did not put that trailer out for
they haven't.
Infinity War.
Yeah, they haven't given into that piracy sort of thing. I remember the first time I saw the trailer for Thor. That was a leaked video online from a Comic-Con. I think it was SDCC. We'll have to wait. But I don't think they're trying to give us a misdirection. I think we're still going to have to wait probably till the end of the summer, beginning of the fall, before we see something like this.
And which I'm fine with. Marvel has made a reputation of, all right, I'm going to put out something good.
Right.
They don't have that many bad movies. And if I have to even grade, like even the worst ones are not bad. Mm-hmm. They're just not the most popular.
Yeah, they've got a better track record than anybody else.
Yeah.
So
DC.
we're looking at you, and we'll be talking about that too in a bit. But Marvel just I feel like at some point something's got to screw up. I don't want to be a pessimist on that, but they've been doing things so well here lately. Not to say that they're perfect by any shot, but
all right. So let's stick on the topic of Captain Marvel because it's a strong character for their next phase. Mm-hmm. A lot of it's going to be focused on her. She's going to be the secret weapon. She's going to be in back-to-back movies, her own movie and then an Avengers movie right after. As the first female superhero movie for Marvel, they were a little behind the gun. They were supposed to get it before DC. But do you feel that's going to be critiqued against Wonder Woman heavily? The first one.
People are going to do that no matter what. I think some people. But obviously that's the wrong way to go about it. But I think they're also, the release dates are fairly far apart, right?
Well, I'm talking about the first Wonder Woman movie.
Oh, okay, I see.
Just because DC, that was like DC's diamond right there.
Right.
That's the one thing they did right. It was a great story, great movie, great effects. Now we're looking at Captain Marvel. People are going to be looking. They like to compare. Mm-hmm. they're going to be comparing to Wonder Woman. Do you think Marvel is preparing for that, or do you think they're trying to be totally different? Because it's a time set piece again. Wonder Woman was the same thing, a time set piece.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to try and go for something totally different. It is, the backstories are different enough to where I don't think you're going to have many comparisons. Even the powers. I mean, for all intents and purposes, Captain Marvel is basically Superman of the MCU, right?
Well, Wonder Woman's Superman of women.
Well, yeah,
pretty much. We've seen in any strong suit. You've seen Superman and Wonder Woman face off, and you've seen Wonder Woman kick his butt a couple times.
Yeah.
So yeah, even though Captain Marvel is like the Superman of their universe, and they have a lot of Superman type characters in Marvel. But
I don't know. I think it's going to be fun either way. It's great to be around in a time where you have so many great movies like that coming out, and also characters that I never would have
dreamed. I never would have dreamed of a Captain Marvel,
right,
with Carol Danvers. I never dreamed that.
Yeah. So I figured we'd eventually have a Wonder Woman movie. I knew there's always going to be more Superman and Batman movies.
Yeah.
But it's great that we're getting into a deep dive, and even now we have next week or the week after we have Ant-Man coming up. That's one I never thought that I would see in the movies. And done well, I might add.
In 1990, if someone came to you and said, we're going to come out with an Ant-Man movie, like, the executive would have been kicking them out the door, like, what's wrong with you?
Right. And they have the perfect cast and everything for that, too, and they're not afraid to make fun of themselves. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm happy to hear that Ant-Man and the Wasp is getting a lot of positive buzz. No official reviews out, but there's
World Premiere came out. There are a couple reviews out there. I've been staying away from them because I want to go in there and give our review with a fresh take. But I said it, and I've been hoping for this to happen. I think Marvel's going to get turkey this year. 3 movies in a row.
Yeah.
Not including Deadpool. If you can include Deadpool, then they're going to have 4 movies in a row. But this one, of their studio, 3 movies in a row. Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to be another hit. All right. And staying on the Marvel train, someone jumped ship.
Yeah, well, it's not entirely clear if they jump ship or if they're straddling both sides of the line. But we have Jared Leto is playing Morbius.
So, it's official. He's set to play Morbius, the living vampire. He is a Spider-Man villain, turned anti-hero. He's not he's a living vampire, so he's not undead. The story I remember, I don't know if they're going to use that story, is he genetically engineered. It's a genetic incident where he sliced his DNA with a vampire, just like Spider-Man's DNA got sliced with a spider. Yeah. And he needs plasma to survive. So he kind of has victims. He doesn't turn people into vampires, but he sucks out their plasma. So Jared Leto as a pick. From what we're hearing, no auditions. Just they said, "Hey, I want Jared Leto." He looks the part.
Yeah.
I think no one aesthetically. I don't think anyone's going to be displeased with that. I just don't know acting wise how I feel about it.
I think he'll do fine. I think he's versatile enough. I know it's not the most popular thing to say, but if you take away all the ironic and stupid tattoos and stuff on the new Joker, I actually liked his take of the Joker. If anything else, it's unique. It's not. He didn't try to redo something that somebody else did.
He didn't try to do the Heath Ledger impersonation. He didn't try to do
Jack Nicholson. Or even go back to Cesar Romero. Way back in the day.
He did his own take.
Yeah.
I really felt like he was a gangster. He was the one that made Joker the most gangster-like.
Over the top and crazy. And the tattoos didn't even bother me. It's just the stupid ones, like what damaged written on his forehead and things like that. I
didn't like the laughing.
Oh yeah, the
mouth.
The mouth. I don't know. That was okay, but still, I think they could do a lot. That's why I hope he has not fully jumped ship, because I think they could do a lot to fix that character and just give him more screen time.
Well, he was very vocal about how he was portrayed in Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
He did not trash, but he did not speak very highly of the studio for those first couple weeks, and then he quieted down and said, "All right, I'm gonna shut up." And then we got rumors of Joaquin Phoenix getting his
so stupid
getting his own standalone Joker.
Yeah.
Do we need two Jokers?
No.
But at the same time, DC and Marvel have been competing.
Yeah.
They've been competing for decades. I don't think DC's going to let this slide. I don't think they're going to be like, yeah, you can do Marvel, and then you can come back and do one of our characters. One of our main characters, Joker.
Right.
I don't see him getting away with it.
I think he's got enough pull, but I don't know. I mean,
I don't think he has that much. I don't think he has that much pull.
Yeah.
I think he's out. I think Joaquin Phoenix is most likely in.
It's like they're just trying to lose me in the DC universe. Like, just stick with one thing. I don't need a spin-off movie of movies that are already happening with different actors, and it's a train wreck.
I'm starting to think this is a little backlash from when he was talking stuff about DC after the Suicide Squad.
But he had every right to.
He had every right to, but as companies are companies. They don't like you talk. They don't like one of their employees talking bad about them.
Yeah, we'll see if it actually comes to fruition. But at this point, we know that the Morbius deal.
No confirmation that he's out of Joker completely, but I'm saying he's most likely out as Joker.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Place my bet.
Yeah, this is officially going online, so it can't go away. I say he's sticking around as Joker. Don's got a different opinion. We'll see. We'll see what actually happens in a few months.
We'll see. Man, bet money. Let's go back to DC a little bit. So, Kirsten Wiig, SNL alum.
Yep.
We heard she was going to be Cheetah. We finally got some from the director Patty. We finally got some visuals of her as Minerva, not as Cheetah.
Right.
Which, if you've heard me before, I say keep Cheetah under wraps. Do not show Cheetah anytime soon.
Right.
Especially with the rumor of the San Diego Comic-Con coming up. I don't want to see Cheetah at all in that trailer. Show me some action scenes. Show me some... It looks like there might be some footage of some invisible jet. Show me that. Yeah.
I'm curious to see how they're going to make the invisible jet, Wonder Woman's invisible jet, not seem ridiculous in an actual movie. But yeah, so we've seen... it looks like she's in a museum or something. Yeah. Kristen Wiig, she's a great actress. She's she can be incredibly funny, but as we pointed out previously, she's done a lot of great dramatic work. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't necessarily. I'm with you. I don't want to see what Cheetah looks like, especially up front. I'd be okay with maybe a hint, like I don't.
Show me a claw mark.
Right.
That's it. Do not show me Cheetah.
Yeah.
DC, please learn from the Doomsday thing. Learn.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't spoil.
Keep it under wraps for right now.
And that was even worse because at least we know that Cheetah is going to be the the villain in this movie. But with Doomsday, that could have been under wraps the entire time and been a huge surprise.
Really under wraps.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they actually mesh that character with reality.
Yeah, because that is a far out character that goes back into the play, and it goes back to Wonder Woman's story, the whole goddesses and different gods and so forth interfering with humans. So the Cheetah character is not far off from the Wonder Woman character, but how do you set that in real world without the mascara and so forth? Are we going to introduce magic more into DC?
Yeah.
So. And make it make sense like Marvel did. Marvel made magic make sense.
Yeah, that was. I think that's what I was looking forward to with the first round of Marvel movies was just seeing how they did Thor, and I think they did an incredible job with it. The idea of magic just being technology that's so advanced that you don't understand. Yeah.
So, all right. Speaking of trailers, we saw Predator come out with a Red Band trailer.
Yeah, so I'm a big Predator, Aliens, those franchises. I'm a huge fan of. And I have to admit, when I heard the concept and who was directing the Predator, I think his name's escaping me at the moment, but he was in the original Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger as an actor, and he's come back to direct and write this one. I was looking forward to it. The first trailer launched, and I was super underwhelmed. It didn't do anything for me. Kind of shaky cam. It was a little too much humor to it. So we'll see. But then the Red Band trailer has come out. It's definitely gotten me more interested in the movie. I don't know if it's enough to make me go just yet. I think the cast looks great. The story's still a little muddled. I don't really understand what's going on.
The story's a little muddled, but to me, I'm gonna go see it. You got my money.
Well, in the end, I'm going to see it no matter what. It's just a matter of, am I going to go to a theater to see it, or am I going to wait and rent it or buy it after the fact to go with the collection?
I think they got, because this one, honestly, the Red Band trailer for this one made it a little bit more campy. I thought it was campy in the first trailer, but this one just solidified. Hey, this is going to be campy. Right. I'm going to have fun with this. It's just going to be a slasher movie.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, I think this is the problem with a lot of movies. Like, the first one sometimes is so iconic.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be able to make that again. Now that you know. The second one, I think they tried to do it with the second one with it wasn't Mel Gibson. It was
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover. And
which I enjoyed.
But you can see what they were trying to do. They tried to make it this as serious as the first one, but in an urban setting, and it came out jokey.
They added in. I mean, anytime you throw Gary Busey into something like that, it's kind of seem a little crazy. Actually, is his son in the new one? I thought I read something about that, but I'm not sure. If he is, I haven't seen him in any of the trailers.
I haven't seen him, but we got to look into that one.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed the second Predator just because it was totally different from the first. Yes, they added a little more humor into it, or at least it came out that way. Mm-hmm. That's also the first instance of them tying the Alien universe into Predators.
And then we got a slew of those Alien versus Predator movies.
Requiem wasn't bad.
None of them were. Okay, the first one was bad. Requiem wasn't bad.
Yeah.
They were still enjoyable. Well, you just have to realize these aren't going to be the first ones. This is a popcorn flick.
So the biggest problem with the first Aliens versus Predator movie was they made it PG-13, and they toned everything down. I enjoyed the story. I liked how they got the actor who plays Bishop in the Alien series, how they got him to come back and be Wayland from Wayland Industries to try and tie it all in together. They did a lot of things right with that movie, but it should have been a hard R-rated movie, and I think it could have been a lot better. And
because you didn't make it R-rated, it came campy. And Requiem, Sanaa Lathan was great and everything, but still campy. And then we got Predators.
I enjoyed Predators.
But I know it was campy.
Well, only in the fact that
once you bring Lawrence Fishburne in, crazy and deranged, you lost all credibility to be a legit movie. You are a campy, fun movie.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too, but I know it is.
Yeah,
it's not beating the first one.
Well, for me, it wasn't that made it slightly campy. It was the idea of trying to take Adrian Brody seriously as a jacked up action star.
Yo, how are you jacked up and scrawny still?
Yeah,
you can tell he did his push-ups, but he's still scrawny.
Yeah, tall and lanky, but he's got some biceps on him. So, but yeah, I enjoyed. But again, that's one that I didn't see in theaters. I waited till it came out, and I didn't own any of the.
I think I saw that one in theaters.
Right. Well, I didn't own any of the Predator movies on Blu-ray, so I got the pack with all of them once that came out. It's something to look forward to. I'm sure I'm going to see it either way. I think that it didn't totally. This Red Band trailer for the Predator Didn't fix everything, but it's got me a little more interested.
You got me. I'm going. You got the super predator, a beefed up predator.
Right.
On roids.
So that makes you wonder, because they keep talking about how they're hybrid predators, they're fusing their genes.
Mm-hmm.
What are they fusing with to make something that gigantic? Because it's not going to be a human.
It's not human. Definitely not alien. We saw what happened last time when
they
mixed with alien DNA. Maybe now that Disney technically owns that franchise now.
I don't know. Well, and two...
Wreck-It Ralph.
Right, so Predators, the Adrian Brody movie, also introduced, or at least elaborated on the idea of multiple, like a hierarchy of predators.
Yeah.
So there are the smaller ones that you see in the original movie, and then there's the giant ones, that have the mandibles that come out like a foot wide, and so that maybe it's something like that. Maybe they've fused it with other
this
things.
one seemed like it was caged up for a reason.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the hierarchy, but I definitely think it's some mixing of some DNA. Because then they keep saying evolve.
Yeah.
So more to come. You got my ticket. I'm gonna go see it. I might need to sign up for that AMC $19.99 ticket so I can just go see these movies without paying too much.
So, well, we'll see what comes of the Predator franchise, and then I know for those that watch the channel on a regular basis, I'm a huge Xbox fan.
Mm-hmm. This is our Xbox expert. That's not me.
Xbox, PlayStation, and we're kind of a mix of Nintendo. We're both big fans of that, I think. But we had confirmed this week that Showtime has ordered a Halo series, television series. I'm really curious to see how they do this, because in the past, all of the Halo movie deals basically fell through because Microsoft had a stranglehold on how they wanted the story. I think that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I want them to make sure that we're going to get a proper Halo movie, miniseries, full-on television series. Showtime is good. It's a good pick in that they can not hold back on the action and gore. I personally don't like Showtime just because the premium channels for me, like out of all of them, HBO might be the only one that I'd ever pay extra for.
Normally, HBO has the most value.
Yeah.
And I think they're being smart about this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, HBO has Game of Thrones. Yeah, fine. We need to get into this. We need to get into this geek money.
Right. It's great for Showtime. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I just I don't know if I'm going to pay extra money to see it. I would have rather it be a collaboration where it airs on, even if it's something available for Xbox Live members. People who pay that extra money. PlayStation has PlayStation View. They're in their own TV service and everything. And we were kind of promised that at E3. When the Xbox One launched, that they were going to have a Halo television series, and Spielberg was involved, and that never came around. So I don't know. They could do it. They could do it right. I think they will, but I don't. I just don't see myself paying for Showtime to be able to see it. I'll just catch it some other time. But what do you think? Are you that big of a Halo fan?
I'm not big of a Halo fan. I was a guy that was willing to play it and get murked. I was the one that'd be running around and get sniped easily.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I don't know if I enjoyed it enough to go ahead and get Showtime. I'm not that invested to pay money for Showtime, especially when there's so many services out there now. And the consumer has to be wise about what they're spending their money on.
Yeah, and it's a huge miss for Amazon Prime or Netflix. I think
Amazon would have raked in money.
Yeah, I think that the viewership's going to be much smaller now because of going with Showtime.
I don't know if it's going to be much smaller. I still think that there are people out there. I think there's hardcore Halo fans that are going to be real interested. And again, you got Amazon Prime. You can get Showtime on there. There's going to be some people that's going to be like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to add it to my streaming service. Or are they going to spend the money or try to get something free for a little bit? You can call Comcast and be like, look, you give me these free channels for the next 6 months so I can finish the series real quick.
You do what I'm planning to do with what is it, ABC or CBS All Access and just get a free trial of that, or even pay for a month and just binge watch all of Star Trek and then be done with it. And maybe I'll do the same thing with Showtime. Just set up if we can't finish it within the free time.
I think Hulu has like 1 week free.
Yeah, most of them are down to 1 week. Back in my day, I remember when they were eager to get you to join Netflix and all that. They give you a month, but that doesn't happen anymore.
Nah, you get 1 week, 7 days. Be like, hey, I can do. Look, people are getting used to binging.
Yeah,
7 days ain't nothing to binge watch. If you just want a network for one show, there's nothing to just get that network, watch your show. Especially when we're gonna look at it. I'm gonna give it just a couple predictions. I think it's gonna be hour long, 10 episodes. Done.
Yeah. That's about right. I don't know if we'll get
might not even get a full hour, to be honest.
I think they probably have to stick with an hour in order to get out a decent storyline, but I don't know. It might pull me into getting Showtime, but it's definitely not something that's going to make me subscribe to Showtime and stick with it. It's going to be one of these where I'm going to join, subscribe to Showtime. I'm going to binge watch the whole thing when it's out, and then I'll dip out and just catch it on Blu-ray, or if it eventually comes.
Think about it. Showtime's been making some power moves. I think they just picked up Jesus and Mero. They just took them off of Iceland. They're going to put them on their show next year. Some of these podcasts and so forth are getting on Showtime and HBO, these premium channels to have talk shows. So, wink, wink. If you want us to really help you with Showtime, pick us up and we'll talk.
Right.
He'll subscribe.
I'll take back everything I just said. This is the part of the evolution of those premium channels. They have to. HBO was one of the earliest ones to start when they realized that they had to compete with Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, and they're doing well with it. I think the other premium channels are way behind.
Yeah, I think they're getting there. But there's one more thing. Actually, a couple more things. So going into the anime side, Otaku over here. Attack on Titans Season 3, which everyone's been anticipating. My wife, hey honey, she asks me every week, when's Season 3 starting? When's Season 3 starting? I'm like, July. Now, in the U.S., it's going to premiere in theaters. And first 2 episodes, episode 1, episode 2, will be in theaters. I don't know for how long. It's probably have to be a short run because you have all these streaming services. Like I have Crunchyroll. I pay for Crunchyroll to get that anime instantly when it's in Japan. Like in Japan, it comes out, and then bam, it comes out here, and I can watch it subbed. I don't know what they're trying to do with. I don't know if they're trying to get some more excitement around it.
Well, it's one of the biggest in the grand scheme of things with all the different anime. Which
it is one of the biggest ones out there.
Full disclosure, I'm not a big anime guy, but I know a lot about Attack on Titan.
Give me a couple weeks, it'll be converted.
But this is something that Attack on Titan kind of transcends that.
It does.
Just the way Dragon Ball Z and a couple other ones that we grew up with. Even people like me that are not normal. They're not normal watchers of regular watchers of anime series.
Know about it and
know about it, and I have a fairly good idea of what's going on with it. So I think it'll do well. But I don't see that being in theaters more than a weekend or a week or something.
A week, 2 weeks max. Yeah. I don't know if they're really just trying to get some excitement around the premiere. Because I don't see the need to have it in theaters, to be honest. Like people who have been watching Attack on Titans, they have their way of watching Attack on Titans. I don't think it being in theaters is going to get me to go to a theater to watch it.
Yeah,
I'm going to watch it at home like I've been doing when my daughter's asleep, because I cannot let her see that.
Right.
And
a little traumatizing.
Bam, there you go. So I'm excited for it, but I don't see the need for the theater. But again, it could be sparking up new, and it's kind of weird because if you're going for a new audience to jump in season 3, episode 1 and 2, you don't know what is going on. And Attack on Titan is a series you need to start from the beginning.
Yeah,
it's not something that you can just jump into and be like, all right, I can just pick up from right here and get what's going on. No, it's very, very in depth. and you need to start from the beginning, which is great. The good thing about Attack on Titan is not slow. You get to the action very quickly, and it keeps you. So, but more to come. So I did have a question for you though. So we've been hearing a lot about trailers. We're starting to see schedules for San Diego Comic-Con as they're releasing, and I'm looking at their Twitter constantly now to see what's scheduled. CW's already has their day. DC Universe made their announcement, and they're gonna have their day and their hall to talk about their streaming service. Marvel's gonna be doing a couple things with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Venom. Early predictions. Who do you think wins this Comic-Con? San Diego, between Marvel and DC.
I think Marvel doesn't have much to prove. They already have their whole year lined up, basically. And I don't think that they have to show off much besides maybe a hint at the new Avengers with Avengers 4 if they drop the title of it. If they do a roadmap like they've done in the past, showing which movies are going to be coming out over the next 2, 3, 5 years, if they give something like that, then they're going to do really well. I don't think they have to do a whole lot to show off, just what they have for the consumer. But I think DC has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I think that they have the ability to really run away with it. If they get in and they announce the right things, they show the right things, between the DCU streaming service and then...
Which is huge. And
right.
After this podcast, we're doing a separate video on that because we couldn't put it in this podcast.
Right.
It would have sucked up all the time, and then y'all be mad at us for not talking about anything else.
Yeah, so stay tuned to our YouTube channel for that. I'm looking forward to what DC has to offer, but I think they could run away with it, but they're going to have to prove themselves.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
I think DC is going to get this Comic-Con, to be honest. We got some trailers, Aquaman. I think we're definitely getting Aquaman. Mm-hmm. There's rumored Shazam. There's rumored Wonder Woman 2, 84. I think the DC Universe is going to soak up so much of the space. Because when we'll talk about the next video, this can potentially revolutionize the industry. So, hearing more about that, they've been on a good run with their comics lately, especially as we're counting down to like Batman getting married to Catwoman. We're getting ready for the next big summer event. I think they're gonna run away with this one. I think it's gonna be a clean sweep. It's like the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland. I think it's going to be a clean sweep. Because at the moment, Marvel hasn't announced them. Really, they've announced some things comic-wise, like the Infinity Warps. You're going to hear more about that at Comic-Con. But other than that, we haven't heard too much. And it seems like Kevin Feige's he's being very talkative.
Right.
He is talking out there, but he's not. If I feel like he had something for Comic-Con, he'd be dropping hints. He's not one to stay quiet.
Yes.
He's normally likes to drop some hints, be like, oh, yeah. Well, like the Spider-Man thing.
The only reason why I think he might be quiet is because we're waiting for Ant-Man to come out. I think that he might be saving everything for after Ant-Man drops because that'll be about three weeks in advance of SDCC. So. Once that happens, then you could start seeing some leaks, but they don't want to distract from the big movie.
That is very true, because right now DC has nothing going on right now. So all they can do is get ready for San Diego.
I could see plenty of scenarios where DC hands down wins the day at Comic-Con, but I think that Marvel has the advantage, but if DC plays their cards right, they could easily win.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
But all right, let's get to our weekly random battles.
Yeah.
So, if you're new to the channel or you're new to the podcast, what we do is we have a bunch of superhero or characters. They can be from any genre, from Harry Potter to video games to Power Rangers, all the way down to superheroes and so forth. We pretty much pick at random, and each one of us has to argue why our person we pick would win in the battle. All right, so let's.
Fingers crossed for a good one.
Did your dream come true?
Sure. I got Ryu from Street Fighter.
I got Hawkeye.
I think we know who's going to win this.
Yeah, Hawkeye. Hands down. Look, Ryu is a close range fighter. I'm sniping you from way, way back.
All right. I don't know.
You have to, for Ryu to win, he has to make it a close fight. Even his Hadouken don't go that far.
That's true. Also, I'll admit I'm at a disadvantage right now because growing up I was always a Mortal Kombat guy. So I don't have any investment in this particular character. But
and we'll also put it there when we've seen the Marvel vs. Capcom. Hawkeye does have some hands. He can do close range fighting. So I'll even concede. I'll come in a little bit closer, and I think he'll give him some business.
So this is actually one then that we could settle over a game, right? I mean, are they both
technically? Yeah. Now that at that point it's depending on who's better at Marvel vs. Capcom,
right? Which I have not played the newest one, but yeah, I think I don't know. I like Hawkeye, but I mean, he's just really good with shooting arrows,
and that's a big advantage when you're facing someone that likes to get close. I can stay far. I can shoot.
I think Ryu might just be at a disadvantage if Hawkeye comes in wearing his purple outfit because he'll be laughing so much at how ridiculous Hawkeye looks that he won't be able to keep up with any attacks coming his way.
Y'all say that, but y'all love that iconic purple costume with the head mask and everything. It's iconic.
Looks like somebody doused Wolverine in purple paint.
All right, well, tell us what you think. Who would win in a battle versus Hawkeye versus Ryu? Let us know in your comments down below. Subscribe to our channel. We'll also put a poll out on Twitter so you can join in on the fun, and Instagram. Other than that, name's Don.
Clay.
Geek Philosophy, the Geek Way of Thinking. Have a great day, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for stopping by Geek Philosophy. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, put your philosophies in the comments, and also hit that subscribe button so you can be notified of all future videos. Thanks for stopping by Geek Philosophy, the Geek Way of Thinking.